is recording the call for all those that wanted to join, but they can't. So today, you're welcome. This is Kaweplus, and at kaweplus.com, we're having this wonderful webinar today talking about choosing what to study in Nigeria, preparing for a global future. You are in Nigeria, you are in this country, it is a local country, it is in Africa, but we have to prepare our minds for a global future. And as we are starting to write JAMB and prepare for JAMB, and what Kaweplus is doing is I want to give you the best platform ever to prepare for our JAMB easily and to do exceedingly well, like to be successful at the JAMB score. When you see it, you'll be so surprised. We also want to prepare our minds that we are not just preparing for the exam, but that we are preparing our minds for the future. We want to not only be successful in the exam, we want to be successful in your future. And that's why this webinar, it is vitally important. If I had this when I was writing JAMB and choosing course, my life would have changed. So please listen attentively, stay close, and use the chat box to ask questions. So the topic again is choosing what to study in Nigeria. So you are studying in Nigeria, but you are preparing for a global future, guys, global future. So you can always use the chat box. Please just type in the chat box if you are in, tell me your name and where you are joining the call from. Just to know that I have people following, and then we can go ahead. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. This is me. I'm Dr. Mokule, a medical doctor, and also the CEO and founder of Kaweplus. So I got into medicine, as you know, some of you might know, but I got in based on the advice of someone that was like my church mentor. So you see that when you're choosing a course which can direct your life for the next 20, 30, 40 years as the work you do, it is vitally important to consider some things. So I chose this because that person recommended it, and I was like, oh, I'm a brilliant person, do it, and that was it. But choosing a career path should be much more than that. And that's what I want to talk about today, talking about what should you study, what should you choose in your JAMB for. The day you sit down in that CBT center, in that, what is it called, registration center, to choose your courses, your mind should already be prepared and to know what you want to do. I'm going to mute iPhone. I don't know why iPhone. I'm going to mute it. So let's continue. So as I said, I'm a medical doctor. I was trained in Ibadan, UCH, the best medical school in Nigeria and arguably West Africa. And yeah, so Chris, journey from Ibadan, thank you. I'm seeing you. You guys can use the chat box. So as I said, my own career was based on just an advice from one person. But now I know better and I know more. And I'm like, no, we have to change it for the folks coming in now. We have to make sure that they know what they are doing, they know what their options are, and they are choosing appropriately. And guess what? In this call also, we'll be doing the best 5 courses, in my own personal opinion now, that I think people should be looking out for. All right, so let me just continue. So guys, you can see, this is what we're going to be going through. We'll start with the introduction. So what's the purpose of this seminar really? So many students struggle with choosing the right course for JAMB. And that's the truth. Some people, is when they get to where they're registering, that they'll say, hey, why don't you do biochemistry? Or why don't you do literature? Or why don't you, is the cafe person that literally chooses their career or the work they will do for the most part of their life. And that shouldn't be so. That shouldn't be so. And so, okay, I've seen Amuiba joining from Osun State, Osun, Amuiba, you're welcome, thank you. So that shouldn't be so. How to choose, want you to know that the world is changing. What you study now shapes your opportunities later. So you have to put yourself in a position where your future can be better and brighter. And that's why I'm happy for everybody that is on this webinar and those that are going to watch it year after, because this can literally change your life. So today, what are we going to explore? We're going to be exploring how to choose a relevant, listen to the word, a relevant course, and a course that is also rewarding. It's possible for something to be relevant, but not rewarding. It's possible for it to be rewarding and not relevant. So what you choose a course that is relevant for now and also in the future. And then number 2, you also have to balance your passion with market demand. So if someone says, oh, my passion is, for example, using typewriter to type, nobody uses typewriter again. So if you can't study typewriting in the Polytechnic, you are failing from the start. You can say, yes, I have a passion for typewriting, but nobody uses typewriter again. Everybody uses computers now. Everybody uses their phones and all. So if you don't study something that is in market demand, something that is in use now, is more like a waste. That's why you would have heard some people saying school is a scam, because they go to school and they come out, they study courses that are not applicable, courses that people don't want, and they feel like, oh, Why did I even go at first? So for you, it should not be like that. For our Kaweplus students, it should not be so, and it should be different. And the last thing we're going to be looking at are, I've mentioned 5 fields that remain valuable in Nigeria and globally now, and they are future proof. Future proof means in the nearest future that they are also going to still be valuable. So please make sure you listen to this webinar. If you're going to listen to the recording and take everything. So let's move on. So this is content. I'll ask some key questions, talk about some courses, and we'll move on. So the key question is, what should I study? That's the big question. Sometimes you ask your parents, you ask your teachers, you ask your pastors and imam, you ask your friends, you ask yourself, and it can be hard. But I don't think you should just choose based on what's popular. You need to think about these 3 things. What is the relevance of this thing in the global market? As I've said, you are entering institution in Nigeria, but you have to think globally. You have to think about because the world is a globalized world now. Everybody is connected. Social media, internet has connected everybody. And more we are going to be connected. So you have to realize that one day when you leave school, you actually want to travel out of the country. You actually want to go to other countries. Are you still going to be relevant? Is your course still going to be relevant? Please, I would have to mute you. Don't unmute, please. Is your course still going to be relevant? So the first thing is you have to check out the relevance in the global market. Think about that. Okay, apart from Nigeria, what about other countries? Is this relevant? If someone, for example, goes to study in sorry, please don't unmute yourself so that you don't disturb our call. Good. So if someone, for example, goes to study Yoruba language, it might be important to study Yoruba language for Nigerians. But if you step out of Nigeria, is this so important? The answer is no. So you need to think about relevance in the global market. The world is becoming much more globalized, and then you have to think along that lines. Second thing is you have to think about your passion and interest. Everybody has natural inclinations, things they would love to do, things they're interested in. You should also explore that and think about that as you choose what to study. Obviously, that's not the only thing. As you see, it's 3 in 1. It's not just one thing you consider, oh, I have a passion for this, that's all. You go into it. If, for example, someone has a passion for like drawing, art, they can draw and maybe not be able to achieve success. But if they think about design, they think about illustration, they think about animations, that will open a different field and a different global relevance of some sort. So you think about the relevance in the global market, you think about your passions and your interests. The last thing, this is also very, very important. Think about the career demand and the future opportunities that attach to that career. That is vitally important. I cannot overemphasize that. What is the demand for this career? How many of these kind of people do they need? What is the job market in LinkedIn saying now? These things I'm telling you now, you might not understand a lot of it now, but when you come out of school, or even for some people, when they're in final year, they start thinking, oh, what do I have to do with the rest of my life? Because work takes 2/3 of our time. 8 hours out of 24 hours, most people stay at work. So you have to find something to work, to survive, to take care of yourself, your family, and to contribute meaningfully to the world. So you have to ask yourself, what's the career demand in this thing I want to study? What's the demand like? And then the other thing is what's also the future opportunities. Something can be relevant now, but will it be relevant in the future? So you can see these are the 3 key things everybody must look at. So I said the best choice lies where passion meets purpose and opportunity. I wish I had a Venn diagram here for those of us that understand mathematics. When your passion or what you are naturally inclined to, what you like doing, meets purpose, as in something that is globally relevant and relevant for the future, like for example, people working in AI and stuff, it's purposeful, and there's also opportunity in that. There's a demand for it. That's the career demand. There's a demand for it. That is the sweet spot, and that's where everybody should be thinking about. So let's move on. Don't talk about courses with global relevance. I said I'm going to give us 5. I think everybody should think about courses with global relevance. You have to think global but act local. You're studying in Nigeria, for example, you're going to write the JAMB exam. So choose fields that are shaping the future. Number 1 example I gave is medical and health science. Truth is that health will always be in demand, both locally and abroad. And that's why you can see people that study medicine, nursing, etc., being able to write some exams, move into Canada, move into the UK, move into the USA, because that is always going to be globally relevant. There are not ever going to be a point when we have enough doctors to cover everybody in the world. No. You can take your skill, write your certification exams, and still be globally relevant. That's different from someone that studied For example, history. You can still be globally relevant in history, but the chances are much lower compared to medical and health sciences. So that's the thing that I'm talking about. Medical and health science will continually shape the future. Human beings will fall sick, will fall frail, and it's going to be globally relevant. So you think global and you act local. You can type that in the chat box if you get that. Think global, act local. You're studying locally in the university here, but you have to think global because you're not going to be restricted here. Our Kaweplus students are not going to be restricted just to Nigeria. They're going to change the world. Number two that I put here is computer and technology fields. So things like computer science, software engineering, some schools do it, data science, AI, cybersecurity. This is the new gold. The digital economy is driving global change. So this digital economy now is what people should key into, and Nigeria is trying to catch up. As I said, type it in the chat box, guys. I want to see it. Think global and act local. You're acting locally, you're entering a university, but you have to think globally. So think computer science, think software engineering, data science, AI, cybersecurity. I know that Covenant does software engineering. I know some other schools are also trying to start courses in this technology field because this is globally relevant. There are courses, yes. Think global, act local. Yeah, I don't know. Your name is iPhone, but I guess it's someone. If you can change your name, I want to know your names. I already know Muibat. Muibat introduced himself. So please, if you're joining the call, just please introduce yourself. I can see Issa on the call. Introduce yourself. Let me know your names. So we need to think global and act local. Yeah. So I've mentioned computer and technology fields. They are going to be for the nearest future still relevant. So if you want to study a course, you can put in for computer science. You have to research it. Obviously, I'm still going to talk about that, but put in for courses that, yeah, please think global, act local. Thank you very much. Let's move on. This is another thing. Guys, business and management will never go out of style. From time immemorial, from the ancient time till now, human beings have always made transactions, and it would always be so. Okay, I've gotten your name. My name is Fadila, joining from River State. Fadila, you're welcome. You're a Kaweplus student. Welcome to the call. I'm sure you catch up. If there's any other person, please introduce yourself. Third course, I'm telling you guys, there's going to be so important. It's business and management. Business never goes out of style. Whether you're into healthcare, a doctor can open an hospital and run a business. Whether you're into tech, they run it as a business. Teaching, whatever you think about, really, even the work of government, they run businesses. Business never goes out of style. So every industry needs people who understand how money and management works. So business administration, economics, entrepreneurship, accounting, skills gained here are very transferable. You can start your own venture, or you can work in most companies. Every company has a business management or, a part of their company where they want to manage business. Because if you're not making money, you are going to die as a company. If you're not making money, you're going to die. And so whether you're in the UK, you're in the US, you're in Australia, Canada, wherever you are, business and management skills never run down. So think along these courses. I'm sure this would, I know for economics, even science students can study economics. And many of these courses, they allow even people that are not in commercial classes or do commercial subjects to take some of them. So if you're in commercial class, think along this line. Think business administration, think accounting, economics, entrepreneurship. You can work anywhere. And if you not decide to start your own venture, you can apply your skills and your knowledge here. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. I want us to be able to take some questions in the chat box. Yes. The fourth thing, I said, engineering for real impact. So there are some engineering that there's no impact behind it, but there's some engineering for real impact. So please study useful and relevant engineering fields. Engineering builds a nation. Focus on fields solving real problems. If you can notice what I've been talking about throughout this call, I've been talking about the fact that you have to focus on fields that are solving problem for now and problem for the future, if you're with me. So, for example, I said number one, civil engineering, infrastructure and development, bridges, train, railways, all those things. For example, in Nigeria, we borrow a lot of US dollars, borrow money just to build those things. Civil engineering is still going to be relevant now and in the future. See, for example, the war happening in Pakistan, in Gaza. They have leveled everywhere. They are going to need engineers to actually build this thing back. So you are relevant. Number two, I said electrical and electronic engineering, energy and power systems. So whether you're in a company or you're in an airport or you're in a home, you need your electrical systems to work. So this is another useful and relevant field. Number three is mechanical engineering, for manufacturing, for technology. Imagine the Dangote refinery. That is massive. And they used a lot of this kind of engineering, whether civil, mechanical, electrical engineering to build that. And so going to learn these courses that are useful and relevant can be a great stepping stone. I've mentioned software engineering too. I mentioned it in between technology and computers. This is the last thing that I'm suggesting: media and market skills. See, people that can communicate, create, and influence, they have great power. The world is not a digital world. We all know about internet, we all know about social media. We know people that sometimes just know how to do TikTok and they're making a lot of money, you know. So people that can communicate, create, and influence can be big. Let me tell you something. The richest men in the world, they have media teams. They have people that follow them everywhere with cameras, with strategy, with all these things, with content production and all. So courses like mass communication, media and digital marketing, these courses are propping up now. So look out for it. Public relations, film and content production, they're in high demand for both traditional and online industries. So imagine two of you applying for a job. One of them says, I just did a 6-month course in content creation. You said, you know what, I have a degree in mass communication and I specialized in content production and social media marketing. That is different. So think media, think market skills. Guys, in all these things, don't forget your passion. You still have to follow your passion, but please, just like me and I and my co-founder discussed yesterday, with wisdom. With wisdom. You have to follow your passion with wisdom. So your career will last decades, last 20, 30 years. So don't choose a course you will hate. That's why I said you still need to ask yourself, what subjects do I enjoy most? What subjects do I enjoy most? What kind of problems do I want to solve? Can I see myself doing this long term? You still have to think about this. Like, okay, yes, Dr. Kula has spoken about all these things, but will I enjoy this? Do I want to solve these problems? Because in every work, you're solving problems. Do I want to solve the problem? Do I see myself doing this long term? Passion will drive excellence, but make sure that you're aligning with opportunities. As I said, if someone says I have passion for shorthand writing, I did shorthand when I was JSS2 basic 8. I loved it, but there's no opportunity for shorthand. Nobody writes in shorthand again. Everybody just types on their phone or something. So you have to make sure that your passion is driving you forward, but is aligning with opportunity. You have to align both. Opportunity, market demand, what is relevant in the future and relevant now. So how do you decide? Practical steps before choosing a course. Research course content, not just the name. So you have to check job trends in Nigeria. Check job trends. Where are the jobs now? If you type 100 most employable skills or 100 most employable course of Google, you see. Check job trends. Talk to professionals already in the field. Consider the schools you want to go to. Plan, prepare, so that you can make what all this seminar is trying to make you see is that you have to make an informed choice of what you want to study. The choice has to be informed. Okay, so you have to research, you have to talk to people that already work. If you have to be a doctor, now talk to a doctor. I'm a doctor, talk to me. How is it like? Know what you're getting into. Then check job trends. Oh, can doctors actually work anywhere else? What about in Nigeria? And how much are they paying and so? So final thought, guys. The future belongs to the prepared. And you can see that is a picture of mass. And there's something about we humans wanting to dominate mass in the nearest future. The future belongs to those that are prepared. And your JAMB course is a foundation, not a limit. And that's why I'm making sure that as we start to get to the JAMB period, in case you don't know, Kaweplus is launching in the end of October, at the end of October, and we all want you guys to be Kaweplus students because this is a game changer in your JAMB preparation. We don't just want you to prepare for JAMB and score a high mark in JAMB. We want you to actually know what you're doing in your life. It starts from now. So this is not a limit. Skills, mindset, adaptability, they matter most. So choose wisely and know that even when you have chosen the course and you have entered, you have to learn continuously and stay open to global opportunities. You can be earning in dollars and earning a lot of money, be able to help and do the things you really want to do for your family and for your life, while stay just local and earn a little bit more. Think global, but act local. So it's your turn now. Please use the chat box if you have any questions, and let me know. And if you're going to be watching this after now, because most people, I think they're having issues with joining. If you're going to be watching this after now, just let me know if you have any question. I'll drop like a Google form. If you have any question, we can take it next time you're watching. But if you have any question, please kindly drop it so that we can go through it. I'll give like 1 minute for that while I do the following announcement. So we're going to be doing a weekly call like this every Sunday because see, as I said, the future belongs to those that are prepared. Some people think JAMB is happening in April, that they will start preparation in January, but no, we have to be prepared before time. And that's what I'm saying. By the end of this month, slash November 1, November 2, we are going to be launching Kaweplus. We're going to be onboarding you guys in so that you can start your preparation. But as we prepare for JAMB, we're also preparing our life and our future and the choices we kind of make. And that is very, very important. So this recording is going to be available to everybody. And yes. So Spencer said, you didn't add law to the courses you recommend. Is it not relevant anymore? Yeah. So as I said, for me, I had a slight bend to it because I'm a science person. But yeah, law is also a relevant course. The truth is that wherever there is business, wherever there are human beings coming to meet together, they have to make agreements and they have to settle conflicts. And that's where law comes in. Law is always going to be globally relevant. And more so in Nigeria, it is also relevant. So law is a great one. All I would say is that whatever you are choosing as Kaweplus students, make sure that you become the best at that thing. So you can choose medicine, and if you are the worst doctor, you will not do so well. You can choose law, and if you are not fully into it, you will also not do so well. So as you think about what to study, because this is the time to start thinking about it. It's not when you're in the registration center that you're not start thinking about it. Think about what you study, talk to people that are already doing this law, let them talk to you, know why you want to do that, and be willing and able to commit fully into it. Guys, I'm so happy that you guys joined the first session. As I said, we're going to be having weekly calls every Sunday. I want you guys to achieve the best possible things you can in life. Because some of us, if we had the guidance that we are going to be having, we're going to be super, super, super grateful for it. So my name is Dr. Kunle. I'll be interacting with you so much on the group. I also have like a co-founder there, Chris. I'm still going to be talking to you guys once in a while. So feel free to ask any question. Let us know what's going on. If you are yet to subscribe on the wait list, make sure to join the wait list so that when we launch, you'll be the first to launch. Let me give you a teaser now. What we are launching with Kaweplus is a one-of-a-kind study platform. No stress, no headache. You log into your platform, you study for your subject in your JAMB easily, and it's going to be a game changer. So please, if you have friends, if you have classmates that you care about, not the ones you don't care about, that you care about, send them to join kaweplus.com. They can join the waitlist now. So they can join, let them join the group. They can also join our weekly calls. We're also going to be choosing ambassadors very soon. I can see Faisal, Terefaka, I can see Muibat. I can also see the other lady that asked question. Your name is the iPhone. Okay, Fadila, joining from River State. So, guys, we're going to be choosing ambassadors. Make sure you join the next weekly course. And the group is open. My contact is always also open. We can always get to talk. So thank you for joining today's call. I hope you think about these things so that when we come next session, we'll have much more to discuss. Take care, everyone, and stay blessed.